Years ago, I used to walk down Fifth Avenue in New York City and window shop. I didn't actually want the things in those windows, to be honest. What I really wanted was to stop feeling like I couldn't afford them. What I didn't understand back then was that the feeling of lack itself was setting me up for a life of lack. Thankfully, I found personal development programs and books and spiritually enlightening people to surround myself with, and that ended that nonsense. Today, if I want something I see in a window, I walk in and I buy it. Same windows, same streets. One thing that changed was the mental model I was carrying from lack to abundance. And from that's the stuff of rich people to that's the stuff of me. I am not handing you a theory today. I am showing you a result. This is what years of doing this work actually produces. And listen, if you do what I have done and continue to do, you can have what I have for yourself. Stick with me to the end because I'm going to give you one question to ask yourself about your own life that might be the most important audit you do all week. Hey, I want you in a room with me in person. I'm part of a live world tour and I'll personally be in Chicago on July 28th. Guests come free when I invite them. I have a couple of seats left. Links below in the description. All right, so I am publishing one of these every single day. Subscribing is how YouTube brings you back tomorrow, so you can keep doing this work with me. What you're looking at when you look at your own life is not reality. It's a mental model, a narrative you stitched together, partially true, that started to feel like objective fact, simply because you've been looking through it so long you forgot it was a lens at all. Here's what I believe, and I believe this fully. That feeling of lack doesn't just sit there. It produces more lack. It attracts more lack. I believe we are energetic magnets, and the model you're carrying is the frequency you're broadcasting, whether you mean to send it or not. Here's a red pill, blue pill matrix moment.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
That's the choice every single day. Not whether the world is hard, whether you take the model that keeps you stuck or the one that doesn't. I spent years directing films and acting in front of cameras and on stages, and here's what that taught me about a reality. A finished film feels inevitable once you're watching it, right? Like it could only have been made that way, but it wasn't inevitable. Someone in an editing suite made 1,000 choices about what stayed in the frame and what got cut. I do it with these very videos. Your mind does the exact same thing to your life. It's already running an edit. The story that says, that's not for people like me, isn't a fact you discovered. It's a cut someone made, and that someone is you. Listen to your own language for one day. Count how many times you say, I'm just, or this might sound crazy, but, or I don't really, or I can't. Those phrases are mental models spoken out loud in real time, shaping how a room sees you before you've even made your point. Cut them before your next pitch, your next presentation, your next hard conversation. Are you already doing this inner work? Already believing your mindset shapes your results, but looking for an actual vehicle that turns that belief into real income? That's exactly what I built this for. Fill out the short form and then schedule your 5 to 15 minute discovery call with me. I will look forward to meeting you. All right, the science. There's some research out of Stanford from a psychologist named James Gross on something called cognitive reappraisal. The simple version is that consciously choosing to reinterpret a situation actually changes how your body responds to it, not just how you feel about it afterward. How wonderful is it to know that this is a trainable skill? And with all training and exercise, the more you practice it, the better success you will have. We practice and rehearse in my school community weekly, free. What you focus on, what you practice, what you rehearse, shapes what you experience. I read Man's Search for Meaning during my M.F.A. in film and television. The concept that never left me is that we get to choose what we focus on, and that is the one freedom nobody can ever take from us, barring force or injury. Viktor Frankl wrote that from inside a concentration camp. I'm not going to walk you through what he survived. I'm just going to tell you this. If a man can hold on to that freedom in the worst conditions human beings have ever inflicted on one another, the rest of us don't get to say it's too hard to choose our own focus. Sorry. So back to Fifth Avenue. Same windows, same street. The only thing that changed was the model. I didn't fight the world into giving me more. I changed the lens I was looking at it through. And the world I experienced changed with it. And then I took massive action with confidence because I could see the results of my efforts in my mind and I achieved them. A note on why I love the Bible for this work: all spiritual books and manuscripts are a clue to consciousness and good living. Bible is no exception. Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. That's an excellent instruction guide to audit your own attention. It was written thousands of years before anyone called it a mental model. So here's the question I promised you. Name one thing in your life you've been calling reality, something you've treated as a fixed fact. Now ask yourself, what changes if you audit it the way Frankl audited his own focus? Still watching from the doorway? Good. That's exactly what the free school opportunity is for. Everything else, the business, coaching, all of it gets explained there. Come see for yourself. No pressure, no obligation. Tomorrow is day 11. If this is doing something for you, subscribe so it finds you. Share it with someone who's been calling their limitation a fact instead of a model. And tell me in the comments, what's one thing you've been calling reality that might actually be a mental model? I look forward to engaging with you. I'm Chrissy Hogue Bartels. Go audit the lens. I'll see you on day 11.